Cool.
Okay.
Do I need any, do I have any talking points?
Nope.
Excellent.
I mean, you can feel free to jump in.
Okay.
So it's not just me going blah, blah, blah. But that's why I'm going to try and keep this nice and short.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Happy Thursday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? My name's Caroline, and
I'm Kerri.
My friend Kerri. I am the owner of Evertote.
And I am the owner and dyer behind Roxy Floss Co.
And welcome to Flosstube number 7. Number 1 of the new year.
One of the, yeah.
One of the new year. I think we're on number 7 though. I think this is.
I think you're correct.
Yeah. Now, if we'd stuck to schedule, we would have had a video out for you last week.
Yeah.
But I was particularly under the weather, and then I found out that you were also not feeling so good.
Yeah.
So here we are, back again, 2023. We hope that you had a fantastic New Year's.
Hey, wait, are we going to get back on schedule? Like, are we going to record this week and then again next week, just so that we're...
Oh, I see what you mean. Ooh. Only 1 week in between?
That's a lot of stitching pressure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to do it.
Okay, so you'll see us again in a week.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay,
My whole life revolves around...
How much stitching can I get done before the next Flosstube?
And I have to start using whiteout on my stitching calendar to readjust things. I'm going to be ticked off.
I said... No whiteout. No whiteout.
No whiteout.
Okay, we'll get it.
Okay.
I have quite a bit of Evertote shop update information to share. And when I was writing it all down yesterday, I thought that would take far too much time, and this is really supposed to be a Flosstube video and not full-on admin. I already have a problem of talking too much. When I edit these videos, and every time I edit, I send Kerri a message. I'm like, I talk too much, you know, jump in. But it's not, I'm not blaming her. It's completely my fault.
I just sit here and let her go.
Yeah, I know. So I apologize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly touch on all of the things that I need to tell you about. And then I'm actually going to record a secondary video that's just going to be just me. And I'm just going to go into great detail on the following subjects. So first of all, retreats. I want to talk to you about Stitch North, which is fast approaching.
Oh my goodness.
I know. The end of April, beginning of May. Yes, those retreats are full. We have a wait list, but if you're interested in coming, see, again, I was going to say all this in the other video, but you know, it's important information. If you want to come, email Hannah to get on the wait list, because chances are good you'll be able to come.
And I think as you get closer to that event,
more and more people figure out they can actually come. So we're letting in pretty much everybody who's been on the wait list so far has managed to get in. So don't be afraid to send us an email. Second retreat, 2 weekends in October. We are hosting the amazing Jacob DeGraff of Modern Folk Embroidery. He's coming here to London, Ontario, Canada. We are hosting 2 weekends with Jacob. 2 retreats, amazing projects, 2 different projects that are on the bill. So, what are you laughing about?
I'm feeling like a squirrel because the traffic out the window, I'm like, I can't focus.
We're in the front room today because Louise and Daniel are busy packing orders, and trust me, we don't want to slow them down.
Looking. Make it stop.
So the window is like the shutters are open for the light, but it is a very busy street outside.
Very busy.
It's one of our main thoroughfares here in London. You can be okay?
I'll be okay.
Can I carry on?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So if you see Kerri's eyes darting over there,
just ignore. Look at that green carb.
Ooh, that's
very green.
Very green. Okay. So retreats. Okay. I'm going to talk more in depth about those. Next thing I really want to talk about is the Floss Club, the Roxy Floss Club that we host here at Evertote. The 15th of the month of every month is our deadline. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about some brand new mini hanks that we have going into the shop. We've got some new, not new colors, but popular colors that we've done into mini hanks. So I'll show you all those. I'm also planning on doing a tutorial video on how to wrangle those hanks, how to manage them, take care of them so that you can prep them for your stitching. I am going to be talking about the holiday countdown 2023. That is big on the agenda for this, for what I want to talk to you about today. So definitely check out that video if you loved the 2022 countdown and you want to join us again for 2023. I'm going to have all of the details, including the launch date for when we're going to have it available for purchase. The coffee stitch along. This is the heartstring samplery Beth Twist. C is for coffee. I am hosting another stitch along starting February 14th. I'll have all the details and photos of the project that we're going to be working on. We have 4 new charts in the shop as of yesterday. 3 of them are from our very good friend Ellen Reed, Maximum Cross Stitch. 3 new charts from Ellen and 1 new chart from a new designer to Evertote, who is Roz Clark. Roz Clark Craft. It's such a fun pattern. Welcome to the Spinsterhood. It's not welcome to the Spinsterhood. It's all is good in the Spinsterhood. It's such a great chart, and we now have a Roxy Floss conversion for it. So I'm going to talk.
She was pretty pumped.
Oh yeah. It's such a great chart. It's so fun, and she is a hoot.
Yeah, she is.
We met her in the Big London when we were there for the retreat. Okay, last thing that I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time talking about on this next video, the individual video, is all about Hearthside Craftworks, which is the needlework stand that my husband now builds. We purchased Hearthside Craftworks back last summer, and my husband learned the art of making these stands right from the original owner and designer of Hearthside Craftworks.
I'm gonna chime in here because they're the bomb. They're the bomb.
They really, like,
Yeah.
I know I'm completely biased, but they are the Ferrari of cross stitch stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
chime
chime
in a bit?
in,
Okay.
please.
So okay. So yeah, I was a Lowry user, and it was going fine. I was fine, but then we got these new chairs, and they were more of a minimalist recliner, and I was finding that I was really leaning. So I think the other chairs that we had a little bit more support at my side. So I found that my back was getting really sore, and I couldn't stitch. I couldn't have a 6-hour stitch session. So that might be my first problem, but I was leaning a lot. So so I got my Mark II floor stand. My posture is so good, and now it's the first minute I feel tension in my back that my posture is going off center, I can just readjust, and it's like, oh, that's better.
Okay.
Like 0 pain.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Hooray!
And I am one to, I'll just work through it. I'll just stitch through it.
Yeah.
I'll stitch through the pain. I'll ski through the pain. I'll run through the pain. It's.
And I can attest to that, actually. Kerri got a splinter last summer at the cottage. I've never seen anyone with such a high pain tolerance. So if you're complaining that a certain posture was bothering you and you were not changing it, so that's excellent. I'm really pleased. That's great.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. So. And
Kerri is also using she's been testing out the new iPad accessory. Oh. It's really good. So John came up with 2 new additions to the Hearthside accessory line, which was an iPad adapter and an iPhone. A tablet adapter and a smartphone holder for both. The phone holder is only for the lap frame and the Mark II. Sorry, they're different the way that they sit. But the tablet adapter only works on the Mark II. The tablet would be too huge for the lap frame. But anyways, I digress. Mainly because I'm going to talk about all of this in the other video. What the main thing I really needed to tell you was for anybody who's on the wait list. This deals with anybody who's on the wait list. We are now at the point on the wait list where we've kind of come to a stop because we have sent out all of the stands for everybody who is paid. We're now looking at a rather large chunk of the wait list that no one has paid yet.
Oh.
So we have people who have paid who are now waiting for their product, and the people who, because we actually managed to get through our wait list we rocked it. We really did. Like, we've got a system now. John is really working hard. We have
not that he wasn't working
hard before, but you know, his processes have sped up. We have his workflow.
Yeah.
We've got help with the staining and the varnishing and the sanding. And then of course I have Daniel here now at the workshop who's helping putting them all together, testing them all out, packaging, and you know, Louise is shipping them out. So we've actually managed to really pump them out. So it's been great.
That's a tricky position.
It's a very tricky position because now we want to also, you know, clearly honor the people who have been on the wait list for so long, but we now have people who have paid who are waiting. And we have stands ready to go. So what, if you are on the wait list, we have sent out emails numerous times. Well, I say numerous times. We sent out an email before Christmas for the first 50 people who were on the list to make sure that you got your payments in, or let us know that you're no longer interested. Yeah. Honestly, please, no judgment, like nothing at all. Totally happy if you've changed your mind, but it would be really great if you could let us know. Don't just not email us because you've changed your mind, because then we're left wondering, maybe you didn't see our email, maybe it went into your spam folder, and then we're still keeping your name on the list because we don't know. Categorically, if you've changed your mind, totally great. Please just let us know so that we can, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And not only that, we've probably moved a lot quicker than many people expected. Hearthside products are not inexpensive. And I say that knowing full well that, you know, this is a big budget item. It's a big ticket. And the reason for that is because they're entirely made by hand from solid red oak. They take a long time to make. They're the bomb. So if you've been frustrated in the past with inexpensive stands, there's a reason those stands are inexpensive, and there's a reason why the things that we sell are not inexpensive. So again, wait list. If you're on the wait list, you've changed your mind, no problem. Just let us know. We do have the feeling that for at least the next little while, we're pretty much on top of where we're at with shipping. We'd really love to get the stands and products out for those people who have paid. So Hannah has just recently sent out an email, it was yesterday, to everybody who's on the wait list. So if you did not receive it, please check your spam folders. A lot of our emails, especially if you have a Gmail account, a lot of our emails go directly into spam folders. I don't know why. Make sure you add us into your address book. That generally tends to help. Okay, I'm done. Okay. I have a lot more to say, but I'll save it for another video. Let's get to some Flosstube. We have got so much stitching to share with you today, because it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been quite a while. So I'm thrilled with how much stitching I have to share today. So can I start?
Oh, of course.
I have a finish.
Of course.
I
only have a couple of things, so.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll get into why that is, but.
All right. I have a finish.
This is.
Ta-da! Look at that.
Huge.
Look at that. Amazing. So yes, and many of these colors are tone on tone. So when you get up close, it's like a nice little surprise. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. I know. I'm gonna.
It was the first. Oh, that's so good of the year.
It's so good. I apparently do that a lot. I didn't know I did that a lot until my friend Gwyneth pointed it out. And then I still do it, but now at least when it comes out, I'm like, oh, I do that a lot. So if you're seeing this for the first time, this was the Holiday 2022 Countdown Stitch Along. This was the project that Jacob and Kerri and I worked so hard to bring to you all last year. And stitching it throughout the month of December was so much fun. It was so much fun. And so now it's done. It's done. I had mentioned the last time I shared it that I was considering turning it into a bag. And I know somebody left me a question about how I was thinking of doing that. You know, we make bags here, so it's not really something I think overly hard about. I would just use it as a fabric panel, the front fabric panel in a bag. I would probably I would sew some, what's the word, coordinating fabric. I'd pick probably a fairly small print or even a tonal fabric to sew around the outside of it like a border, and then I would use that to determine the size of bag I wanted to make, and then stick a zipper in it and go. There are so many tutorials online for bag making, project bag making. Just pick one.
I think probably the important thing would be to stabilize this before you start cutting it out, right?
I wouldn't.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, that sounds scary to me.
Oh, you mean before you cut the linen? Or before you sew it to the... No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't stabilize it, only because we use batting in our bag, so this would be on top of... There would be a batting layer.
Okay. See, I'd be worried that I wouldn't be able to keep it
straight,
square. Yeah.
I don't overly worry too much,
Okay.
but I'm not doing this for anybody but myself. So I am not an expert on turning your cross-stitch project into a project bag. If I was doing, and that's why I never took on custom orders from customers.
It's a lot of pressure.
Because you're stitching, like I would never want to, I would never be a finisher. I would never want to touch somebody else's stitching, because yes, then I would be super, like it would take me a week to do one bag because I would be so freaked out. But for my own, it's just a project bag. I wouldn't be overly precious about it. This was so fun. So yeah, for memories. But then I think, you know, this is something we're going to be doing now on a yearly basis. So maybe I do want to frame it so that I can start a collection on the wall, right?
It wouldn't be overly, like, I'm sure you could find a store frame.
Oh yeah.
For that.
Yeah, for sure. I've mentioned many times that I want to do a lacing tutorial video. Well, it turns out that Daniel here at the shop knows how to lace. So it's coming soon. We're going to be working on that. I think I'm going to have him, if I'm going to frame it, we'll use this.
Idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Details on this. It was, again, the floss was the Roxy floss from the Countdown box. Most of that is sold out. There is still a few of the individual colors left on the website. If you just Google Holiday Countdown, it should populate with what floss is left, because those words are in the description of the floss, so they should pop right up. And the fabric was a, oh boy, this was a 32 count, wasn't it? Pretty sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, this was a 32 count Panettone linen. 2 strands of floss over 2. I'm over the moon with it. It's so good. And it was so much fun.
I'm getting pretty excited about the 2023 now.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. Okay, so that's my finish. Do you have any finishes?
I do not. No, I had those few smalls before, like the last Flosstube that we did before Christmas. And I've decided to do Whipco this year.
Oh, exciting. Do you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so Whipco is a program that Jessie Marie does stuff on Flosstube.
She's
and
awesome.
I think it's just Jessie does stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
She came up with this. It's based on a bingo card. So there's 25 squares. The middle one is a free space if you choose. And usually you just go through your WIPs, your works in progress, and decide what you want to do. You can do stitching goals. Say you want to do 400 stitches on this one piece, and you're happy with that. Or maybe personally, I have put the languishing WIPs that I would really like to get finished. I did those, and some of them I've got.
That's a good idea.
I've got inspiration, I think, 4 times, because I know it's going to take me 4 times.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty loose rules. So Jessie draws 2 numbers a month, and then you take your bingo card, and those are the projects or your goals that you work on. I'm not doing a very good job explaining this.
No, it makes total sense. You did a great job.
So my parameters for my Whipco.
She calls the numbers on Instagram, right?
Yes, and on Facebook as well.
And on Facebook, okay.
And she calls them on the 25th of the month. So on the 25th of January, she'll call them the 2 numbers of
so
February.
you've got some time to prepare.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so my rules that I've set for myself are 4 or 5 days, depending on the feels that I'm getting from that particular project. The project that they got called, I can't remember what the numbers were this month. I'm not even going to quote them, 6 or 19 or something. It doesn't matter. Was Real Comfort. So this is still, it's in the project bag, but
I love that project so
it's really
much.
good. So I was, I'm finding that like 4 days is my sweet spot before I get pretty tired of something.
Yeah.
So I got quite a bit done.
You totally did.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
And then I put it away. So,
That's amazing.
and the reason I put it away was that I looked at my Whipco board and discovered that I actually have this project on there twice. So I'll definitely get it done the next time it gets called. And that's good enough for me. I don't know if I'm going to do the alphabet on the bottom.
Really?
Yeah, so I've left myself,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I like the alphabet.
I do, and alphabets go so fast.
They do.
So I might.
Yeah.
I've got time. I've got time to decide.
You can decide that the next time.
Yeah. The second number that was called for January was Rosewood Manor Inspiration. Seeing as I'm dealing with Turkish Delight, I just don't know if I can stomach 2 Rosewood Manor projects in 1 month.
They really test your patience with changing colors.
A lot of color
1
changes.
stitch here, 2
And
stitches there.
I do love it, but
Yeah, I mean the finished project is mind-blowingly good, but it's an exercise in patience, for sure.
And because I've set pretty strict guidelines for myself on the Turkish Delight project, Stitch Along.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we ever mentioned it was a Stitch Along.
Turish Delight?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. It's like, I'm doing this if you want to buy it and join me. But I didn't. Anyways, maybe I should come up with this hashtag.
Yeah, but you're half done.
Well, that's
It doesn't
true.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
You know what? There aren't any rules with our stitch alongs. You want to join in? Join in. If you're
Okay,
stitching
that's
Turkish
good.
Delight, doesn't matter how you're stitching Turkish Delight. Maybe you're
Yeah.
stitching it on totally different fabric, or you're stitching it, I don't know, backwards and upside down. You can join in. Do you want to what's your gonna hashtag be?
what you
gonna do?
I have no idea. It's a lot of pressure. I don't know.
Okay, well, how about hashtag Kerri's Rosewood Delight.
Oh, that's
Rosewood Delight.
Rosewood Delight. Okay.
Kerri's Rosewood Delight.
All right.
And
that'd be
hopefully
good.
that doesn't populate anything rude on
Oh,
Instagram.
goodness. We might have to.
Shouldn't. It's not Kerri's Delight. It's Kerri's.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Rosewood.
Okay.
Rosewood Delight.
Okay, there you have it, folks.
Rosewood Delight.
We've got ourselves a hashtag.
Okay.
You
You might as well show it now that you've been talking
Yeah,
about
okay.
it, right?
So I think the last time we met, my goal was to get all of this, the dark.
Just briefly explain.
Okay. Explain what?
They're not, for anybody who's new,
This is what I'm doing, folks. So.
for anybody who's new, Turkish Delight by Rosewood Manor, Karen Kluba, she designed it specifically on this hot pink linen.
Yeah.
And Kerri decided she's been talking about doing this piece for almost a
long
year now. So, well, I don't even know if it's been out. When did it come out again?
Oh, I think it's
been out for a while,
I
hasn't
think
it?
so.
2019. Okay.
Yeah.
So she decided to tone down the fabric and try a new color palette. So that's why. It's a Roxy Floss conversion.
Yeah. And really, I ended up turning it on its head because the first time I did it, I just converted the existing colors to Roxy Floss.
You tried to make it work, and it just wasn't working.
It wasn't
and
working.
so
I
there,
just wasn't
because there was a
happy.
reason Karen used those colors on the pink fabric, right?
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful design. Like Karen did, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the more I looked at it, it's like,
Yeah, it's
that,
amazing.
Yeah. So we're circling.
So
back.
that, because we had someone try to find it on the website, and they were looking for your version, but all they saw was the hot pink chart with our floss pack on it.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, what?
What's happening?
And so we need to add another photo of your version.
Oh, okay. Well, that's doable.
And then it won't be it'll be a little more straightforward.
Yeah, so the last time we met, I just wanted to get the framework in, like all these dark, I can't point them out, I'm not that coordinated, all these dark borders, and just so that when you do what is that called? Cross matching. So
yeah, you don't have to count everything out, right? You can just fill it in.
And then I kind of started losing steam.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was on Instagram and I saw Melissa from Sheba Designs.
Yeah.
And she did a center start and started in this medallion. And well, Nelly, I had to go, I jumped right back in. That was enough motivation. So I'm gonna do this. Oh, and I think on Instagram you saw that I had a little border mishap. My borders didn't line up. I did find the mistake. I just have to go back.
You're showing me, you can show them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I did find the mistake. It was over here, and I just frogged that. And I'll get back to it when I.
At least you found the mistake, because
I feel like when I've punished it long enough,
you're
I will
mad
go back.
at it. Yeah, that's right.
I will go back and fix
Bad
it. So I got
border.
a lot of the borders in, and
Look
then I
at
had
it.
to start on that center medallion.
That is stunning.
Yeah,
Wowzers.
loving it.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, lift it up just a little bit, then you can see the middle is just starting to take shape. Oh, good gravy. That's so gorgeous. Okay, pull it down a little bit. Look at that.
So my
Okay,
original,
to the right a little bit. There we go.
my original
Amazing.
schedule was on this.
Now,
so that
if we bring it back, sorry, I'm gonna just talk right over
Yeah.
top of you. Look at, you see how the colors play when you move it a little bit?
We need like one of those white things.
Yeah, we do. I know. We should invest in one.
Yeah.
High-tech Flosstube whiteboard. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm sorry. Okay, I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, so my stitching schedule on this, I want it to have a page finish every time we recorded. That's gone. I know. That's gone by the wayside.
Yeah. Well, that's
fine. So I'll probably end up jumping around. I think the last time we met as well, I said if I were to do this again, I'd put it into Pattern Keeper.
Look at those flowers. Look at, I just want to bring you into those, because look
Yeah.
at, that's, I can't get over how pretty those are. They're just,
I'm finding that center medallion, it really brings all the colors, the palette together and showcases it.
wow.
So I just, I do love it.
Amazing.
So I would, if I had to do it again, I would put it into Pattern Keeper. So then over the holidays, I thought, okay, you know what? I've got some time. I'm going to put this into Pattern Keeper. I don't know how to do that. So if anybody knows how you would do that.
I don't think you can if it's not a PDF already. You know what? I'm completely talking out of turn here. I don't know anything about Pattern Keeper.
I scanned the pattern. I think where the problem lies is that you need to, each page chart on each page needs to be seamed together in maybe Photoshop and then export it as a PDF.
Okay.
I don't think it's the PDF that's the problem, because I scan and save as a PDF. It's because there's so much more information on the page other than the chart.
Yeah.
Pattern Keeper is like, I don't know what to do with this. So
there's another app that I keep meaning to try that Daniel uses and talks about all the time. What is it called? RX Markup?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have you tried that one? Because that sounds
not.
really good.
Okay. And that's like
it's
an Apple app? Or
I
is it an Android app as well?
I think it's across the board.
Okay.
I need to look into it, but I should ask Daniel about it. If you've used it and you love it, give us a comment below. Well, you know what? Let's make that a goal. We'll test that out before next week.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see.
I have to learn another app. Okay.
We could just get Daniel to teach us.
We could do that. Because the thing with Pattern Keeper is that you hit your symbol and it highlights everywhere that occurs. So,
right.
especially with Rosewood Manor patterns,
It makes it
you'll
nice.
take your floss off the needle, and then 3 minutes later, there's like one single stitch over there. It's like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Okay,
So.
okay, so I think it's called RX markup. I will confirm.
Okay.
And we will see what we can, if we can teach a couple of middle-aged dogs a new trick.
Yeah, that's the blind leading the blind. This should be fun.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, so that would be good. I'd also like to mention, because I am loving my full coverage piece, which is in Pattern Keeper, although that didn't migrate well over into it, and I had to assign all the DMC colors to each of the 89
boy.
symbols. So that was a little bit of work, but that's okay. I don't know. Oh, you know what? It was Jessie Marie Does Stuff on her WhipGo introductory video. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So she was saying what she does is she has her master card of floss. So this will probably blow out the thing, but she has her master card, her master color, but instead of putting this with your project and just like destroying this, like it gets all frayed in your bag and everything, she'll just take off 2 or 3 portions of 6, so 18 strands, and just throws it on another card and just writes on there.
Yeah.
Roxy Floss, Hubba Bubba. And then your floss for that project is no longer that bulky, and it saves your master in pristine condition.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I thought it like, it was mind blowing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm new here.
Was that one of her most recent videos? That was the WhipGo video?
Yeah, I think it was.
And then you don't have all of your floss tied up in one project, right? When you might want to use it for something else.
Because I've got sticky notes in my bags. Oh, you borrowed this and it's over here. And then you borrowed it from that and you put it over here. It's like the shell game.
Can't keep track. Yeah, the shell game. Shell floss game.
That was really good. And then with that full coverage piece, and you've got 89 colors, I had 2 rings this big.
Yeah.
And they almost circled the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of floss to have to manage.
That's a great idea for full coverage. Yeah, good tip.
Yeah, especially with the over dyed, so that you're not, your floss
roughing
gets
it up.
worn.
Yeah, so that you're not roughing it up. No, that's a great idea.
And then when you're done with it, if there's 6 threads left, throw
it
it back.
on.
Or you can just keep that with your master, and then for the next project.
Then it's ready for the next one. Good tip.
I thought it was great.
Thank you, Jessie Marie.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay, that's all you got? You're out?
Talking.
Okay, so the rest of it's going to be...
Go.
Okay, here we go. I got a lot to tell you. I got a lot to show you. I'm going to start with Flora McCulloch. Look at this. Look at that. Flora McCulloch. Our good friend Ruthie of Crowsfeet Stitching. This is an original reproduction by her. We have it in the shop. And I'm not usually a sampler stitcher, but I find myself over the past year, I am gravitating more towards samplers with houses, samplers with big buildings on them, with birds, with the berry bowls, with the trees. I'm really, I'm starting to dig them. And I fell in love. I saw the model in England. Ruthie had a little trunk show set up, and I just fell in love with it. So I have only just been working on this the last couple of days. It's the most recent thing I've been stitching. I've been trying to spend 3 to 4 days on each project before switching to the next one. And so this one, I'm only a couple days in. So the bottom border, though I was gonna check if it matched the top border, because if it does, I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to, I have a funny feeling that it does. I'm gonna double check, but if it does, I'm going to have this as a top-down start, because all of my other projects, you'll see, they're all at the bottom. And so I'm kind of thinking I'd like to do those letters that are all at the top. So bottom or top, whatever, that's the stitching that I have done. The last time I shared it, I think I probably had half as much of this. So 2 colors, It's Phthalo Red and Asparagus. This is a Roxy Floss Co conversion from the DMC. So Ruthie's chart is charted for DMC. We've done a Roxy Floss Co conversion, which is in the shop, yeah. So this is a 36 count dirty porcelain, and I am using 1 strand of floss over 2, which for me,
You're really shaking this up.
I am really shaking the tree, because normally I love 2 strands of floss, even on 36 count, but nope, it is 1 strand of floss. I'm samplering it up, and I love it. So I fully intend to spend at least 2 or 3 more days on this and see how much more of the border I can finish, and see if I can turn it upside down, because I really want to stitch those letters. Can you see them? There. I want to stitch those letters that are at the top. So I'm really hoping that'll work out. It should work out. It's just a border, right? And the borders, actually, that's what's interesting. The borders aren't connected. I think it is. I'm looking at it right now because it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I can flip it. I can totally flip it. That's 2, 2, 2. Yeah. Okay. I'm flipping it.
That's excellent.
So this is now the top of my project.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
My
exciting.
linen tightens up a little bit too. So 36 might be reading more like a 38 maybe. Do you find
This
that?
particular one feels fairly open.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, meaning the 1 strand coverage,
Yeah.
I'm thrilled with it. Yeah, so I really like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Flora McCulloch. I will try to have all project details. I'm going to try really hard because it is quite a bit of work. However, I've got a little bit of extra time this afternoon, so I'm going to try and make sure I put all project information in the drop-down box below. Next up, what do I want to show you next? Ooh, let's show you. No, I haven't started that yet.
Oh, okay.
I should have told you this before. This was the day 25 bonus that came in the holiday countdown box. This was a gift from Jacob to everyone who purchased the full kit, the full box. And after everybody opened it and we didn't have to worry about ruining the surprise, this is now listed for sale. So we have physical charts in the shop along with a floss pack, and Jacob has the PDF on his website. So it's called Dream of a Winter Garden. So I meant to tell you about that back when I talked about the countdown box. All right, so next thing for me to share with you is probably, I'm gonna go from least amount of stitching to most amount of stitching. So Bucklebury sampler. I am also doing a Rosewood Manor Roxy Floss Co conversion. This is the Bucklebury sampler, which I have had this in my stash for years. This is the shop copy, but I actually purchased my copy from my needlework shop eons ago, probably after it first came out back in 2014. I wanted to stitch this forever, and I thought, you know what? We've got such a great selection, a great floss catalog now. Now's the time.
Yeah.
And you were doing a Rosewood Manor, and I thought I was feeling a little jealous. I wanted to do one too. I know, I'm a total copycat. So I've got mine on a piece of 40 count porcelain.
Oh my God.
I know.
I was just saying.
I've literally got the teeny tiniest bit done, and I'm so in love with it. It's so beautiful.
Oh,
I had to get some color into it. So this is a 40 count porcelain.
And you're at the bottom again.
I'm at the bottom. That's me. I do the bottom left starts, right?
Look at your back. It's
Look
so
at
fancy.
It's so
It's fancy.
there. That's my back.
It's lovely.
I'm a little bit particular, not because I am. It's just because I'm fussy.
Me too.
And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about other people's stitching, but I don't like how it feels when I'm stitching.
No.
And I've just gotten used to doing it a certain way. It's habit, right? So I don't, I feel knots as they happen, so I just get rid of them. But look at the color.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
I'm just trying to get that to show properly. Can you see it? Am I in the right place?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
just
quite
the
lovely.
bottom corner, but this isn't a huge design when you really look at it. Like there's a lot of stitching.
Well, that's like a third of the width
But
almost.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a huge, it's not very wide. And so I've already done this whole bottom corner, right?
I'm not going to go as far as saying it's itty bitty, but it's,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just saying to Caroline, my love-hate with Rosewood Manor. They're just spectacular.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Like,
But fiddly faddly. Fiddle faddle diddle daddle. They're
you really have
you
to
have to count and you have to pay attention.
You have to, yeah.
And you have to be willing to have, so what I do is I usually, Hannah came in this morning and I had my needle minder that I'd been using on this project on another project. And I had like 10 needles on the back of the needle minder. She's like, why do you have so many needles on? And it's because of this. I don't want to have to, no, I don't want to have to unload my needle. So I keep the floss on the needle.
Yeah.
I park the needle over on this side of the project. And then when I need to use it again, I just pull that needle from here. Now the trick is remembering which floss is on the needle.
So I just got a product not too long ago. It's just a long,
the one that you stick the needle into?
No, it's a long skinny magnet.
Yeah.
And it's, and you just write with
Oh.
whatever. I'm sure there's some type of erasable.
Where'd you get it from?
1, 2, 3, I think.
Yeah.
Go and just get a strip magnet and do a piece of painter's tape or whatever. Like, take it red green. Like, put it. Get a strip magnet.
Guys, if there was a weird blip there, it's because my memory card was full. So, you mentioned red green.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what that is if they're not Canadian?
Yeah, so it's a Canadian comedy show. I just had to Google actually what years it ran. So it ran on the CBC in Canada, and then it ran on PBS in the States, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
From 91 to 06.
Yeah.
And
red green, I mean, it was kind of like the MacGyver in plaid. Duct tape fixed everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just said red green it because you just need a, I know that they do strip magnets on rolls.
Yeah.
And then use painter's tape or masking tape or something just to put it on so that you can write on with Sharpie.
That's a great idea.
So you can park your needles with the colors, and then at the end of the project, just rip it off.
Just take them off.
And that's even better than what I did. I spent money on it. My God, why didn't I just red green it?
You were supporting, you were sending 1, 2, 3 a little bit of money, so that's okay too.
But that's a great idea. I love it that you don't unthread your needle.
No, I'm far too, like, nobody's got time for that.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. So yeah, I just, I love it. I just cannot say enough good things about this project. I absolutely, I'm just in love with it. Okay.
This actually, sorry, this Rosewood Manor pattern actually seems more logical as well than mine. Like, at least you've got colors and there's a run of color.
Yeah.
Whereas mine is like, oh, 1 stitch here, 2 stitches there.
Well, this is the same though. This is the same. All of these things, they're all one, like.
Yes, no, I see.
It is definitely
my eye was
color
just drawn
change
to
heavy.
these.
Yeah, and I mean,
lines.
and you're looking at, it's repeated, but they're in between, and when you're working on a white fabric, I will have to start and stop the floss. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be worth it. I love working on this. Really, really fun. All right, next up, our good friend Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch. There is always room. Oh, I love this chart. Yeah, love this chart.
I love the SAL that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Lori Sykes. Yeah. My Crazy Life. If you know Lori, to know her is to love her. She is amazing. She's so much fun. She's hosting a stitch along. The hashtag is there is always room for a SAL, S-A-L, stitch along. And oh, did you see what happened? She stitched the entire green border and it was wrong. And she had to rip out the whole thing. I mean, that was a bit heartbreaking because she showed the picture of the frogged floss and it was just like, oh no. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the chart. We've all been there. That's the chart. Oh, there it is.
Just gorgeous.
Amazing. So as usual, I started at the bottom The last time I shared it with you, I had completed the bottom border fully and completely. The bottom border was done with all of the flowers in and everything, and the satin stitch. And then just after Christmas, I started working on the berry bowl to the left, and I finished that. And then I thought, you know what? There's some over one stitching in the bottom. I thought, I'm gonna tackle that. I'm gonna tackle it. I'm gonna get it done. And I did.
Beautiful.
So
I kind of wish I had brought mine because mine looks so different.
Isn't that funny?
Doing one.
Mine is big and Kerri's is small. So this is 32 count porcelain linen, and I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2, except of course for the over 1 stitching where the words are, which is 1 strand of floss, 1 over 1, teeny, teeny, tiny. I tell you, that was so much fun to stitch. And you know, I'm gonna do a little shout out here for one of Ellen's new charts, because I don't like to pick favorites, but I think this is maybe leaning towards one of my favorites. Is this one. See all the little words there? That's all 1 over 1 stitching. And, or is it? No, I'm lying. Am I lying? Oh, it's over 2. Is it? She did it on 46 count. It's over 1. She did that 1 over 1 on 46 count?
Wowzers.
Holy cannoli.
Just another reason
She
to
totally
love Ellen.
did. Hats off, Ellen. That is 1 over 1 stitching, and that model is on 46 count. So, oh, good gravy. But, you know, if you've never tried it and you've avoided it, it's really easy. It's really not hard. You just have to watch that you don't pull your thread too hard if you're working on linen, because your thread will slip under the fabric, the thread of the linen. So you just have to not pull too tight. Just take your time and enjoy it, because it's really satisfying to watch those words.
Yeah.
It's like stitching alphabets, but it's tiny and so cute, all right? And it just...
Now, do you go to magnification to do your 1 over 1?
No, I take my glasses off.
Okay.
I stitch with my glasses off. No, I am incredibly nearsighted, legally blind without my glasses, but when I take my glasses off, I can see the smallest thing. So it's like my eyes work like magnifiers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just take them off. No, I don't need magnifiers at all. But I do have to have the fabric this close to my face. So that's why when I look at things, you'll see me look over my glasses, or I'll take them off to look at them. So I would probably hold it about here to stitch. That's how close it would be to my face.
Now, did you pad those satin stitches?
No.
Okay. Because I didn't do that.
No.
And then I heard that maybe that was a thing. But
You can. But
what does it entail?
You would stitch underneath it.
Going the opposite direction?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, you would stitch underneath it, and then you'd stitch on top of it, which would make it nice and plump, right?
Yeah.
But no, I didn't.
Not necessary.
No. I use, when I'm stitching here at work, I use my lap frame, my Harside lap frame, and I have my brackets, my arm mechanism set at the tallest height, and then where it sits on my desk is nice and close to my face. So it's, yeah, I just now I can put my glasses back on, because otherwise I can't see you. So that is my progress. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to finish my red, stitching the red band. It's really cute. Can you see it? That right above the words. See the red band that runs the length of the piece? And then after I've done that, I'll do the other berry bowl. And then I get to do the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love it.
I'm saving the grass.
Love it.
The grass is going to be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, working my way up from the bottom to the top. So that's been a lot of fun.
I have a lot done on this. Like people that are going hardcore on it, I'm about where they are.
Okay.
Like I'm going to say I've got all of that done. Like I've done half of the house, or
she's showing me 3/4.
Okay. I'm like,
yeah,
I've done
that's
that
pretty
much.
good.
Yeah, I've got a lot done on it, but I had to put it away for a little bit. I just love it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty book solid.
With your Whip Go board,
With
right?
Whip Go and Turkish Delight, and
I know. it's just all so good, right?
Yeah.
We just need more time. Which one do I show you next? Do I show you this one or do I show you that one? I think I'll show you this one. This is, now I'm gonna keep it in the package because this is a copy I have for sale, and I don't like to take them out if I don't have to. This is Hibernation Day, Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery. Most of you will know this chart quite well because it's been around for since 2013, which is amazing. This has been on my love list for years. Same story as the Bucklebury sampler. I have just always loved this chart so much. So I did a Roxy Floss Co conversion. I brightened up the colors, and I can't tell you how much fun this stitch has been. So I'm gonna actually this is a really long piece. It's long and skinny, and I'm stitching it on a 28 count linen, so it's big. But I really wanted it to be big because we have a lot of wall space here at the workshop, and I can see it in my mind how it's going to be framed, and it's going to be spectacular. So that's why I chose a 28 count linen. So yeah, you can see all of that is all still to be stitched. So I'm going to roll that up, and then I can show you what I've got done. So yeah, the year is on it, 2022. Yes, was very optimistic, but that's okay. Now I'll think of it as the year I started it. So that's okay. And since I last showed it to you, I completely finished the red line of stitching. I had 3 or 4 more trees to finish. I had all of these lettering, the words, that was all still to be finished. I think I had If I Can Curl.
Oh, yeah.
So I finished all the words, and I've done quite a bit of work on the houses.
Those trees are brilliant.
Aren't they great?
I really like them.
Yeah. And I just love this brighter palette for, you know, the winter. It's just such a great cherry, just beautiful reds, and yeah, I love it. I love it. This has just been really fun to stitch. This has been my nighttime stitch because it's easy to see on the 28 count linen. So even when my eyes are a little bit tired,
yeah.
And you know, the houses, this is a lot of fill-in.
Yeah.
Like this color over here, I think that's cinnamon. Pretty sure that's cinnamon. And you just go, you know, back and forth and back and forth. It's easy. Love it. So yeah, Hibernation Day.
So
Hibernation
beautiful.
Day. I love it.
I can hardly wait till you get to those snowflakes.
Because really, when you think about it, when you look at the stitching that's on this piece, right now I'm in the heaviest stitching of the entire thing. So once I'm past those houses, this is gonna fly. It's good. It's not gonna take that long. And I find that when I get into a groove like this, where I'm like enjoying it so much, I know that I'm gonna keep working on it, and yeah, so love it.
It's a good one.
It is.
Love those snowflakes.
I know, right?
I am all about the winter and holiday, the Christmas stitching still.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I stitch holiday all year round. Now my linen is a little light. I've got the Panettone yard that was a little bit on the light side.
Yeah.
I did that specifically so that I could make sure that the white stitches would show up okay. And I'm happy. I'm pleased enough with how the white, so I know that my snowflakes are gonna show. The other Panettone that we have, it runs, that's the lightest, and then it goes darker, slightly darker from there. Last but not least, certainly not least, Song of the Nightingale.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. So amazing. Luna's beside me, she just yawned. Song of the Nightingale. This chart is phenomenal. It's just absolutely so beautiful. Let's get it to focus so you can see the whole thing there. It's okay. Blame it on the dog. Oh, so good.
So where are you?
Okay.
You've gone.
I know.
You've gone quite a bit.
Now this one I have on my almanac frame. I will apologize in advance, but
I'm a little
there's
scared,
no way,
actually.
I'll try not to whack you in the face, but there's no way I'm taking it off this almanac frame because it was an 1/8 of a yard of fabric, and it was a generous 1/8. I think it was 14 inches instead of 13. I had trouble getting it in. I'm not taking it out until I run out of space. So here it is. Ta-da! Look at that. It's so good. Honestly,
lovely.
I couldn't love it more.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled with this. Every time I look at it, I fall in love with it again. So I completely finished that triangle. This was the majority of my holiday week off stitching. I spent most of my week off. Anytime I had time to stitch, I was working on this project. And even my family were like, wow, that's really pretty. And they never comment on my stitching. So it got the family stamp of approval. So yeah, I finished the triangle, and then because I really wanted to get to the bottom border, I wanted to know where that was going to sit, how it was going to lie, how it was going to look. And I mean, isn't it gorgeous? Look at the little border. It's so pretty. And that is the corner. So I made it all the way to the right corner, bottom right corner, and I'm stitching this on a piece of 46 count porcelain linen Roxy Flossco with the called for Roxy Flossco colors, which are just navy. That's what it's called, just navy. It's not just a navy. It's called just navy, Delft, and ochre. And oh my gosh, I love it. Now I'm gonna advertise here. See these? Okay. Those are brackets. Those are adjustable brackets. These are the large adjustable brackets that allow me to use my Omnic frame on my Mark II Hearthside Craftworks. And this will fit. They apparently work on Millennium frames as well. That is how John and Helen Wilkes used to sell them. But neither John or Helen, nor my John and myself, own Millennium frames. So that is your mileage may vary. They are supposed to work exactly the same way. So yeah, interesting story, because Kerri has an Omnic frame as well that's new. She bought a brand new one.
It's the version 2.
So it's slightly different than mine. And she took home a pair of large brackets to use hers on the floor frame, and they didn't fit.
Simple solve though. Yeah,
very simple solve. So I'll try to make this brief. Chances are good it won't be, but
it's off like a 32nd of an inch.
Not even. Less than that.
Yeah.
Like it's so little, like you can't see it. Visually, you look at my square and you look at Kerri's, it's not a square, rectangle. Look at my rectangle and you look at Kerri's rectangle and they look exactly the same. Yeah. But the brackets fit mine like a glove, and on hers, they were a little bit slippery, right? And so what we did was we put a piece of a thin piece of batting, cotton batting, in between the frame and the bracket, tightened it up, worked properly. So we are going to we're going to manufacture a piece of felt that will come with all brackets, so that no matter whether it fits or not, you'll have that option. If it's a little bit slippy, you can put that felt underneath and it'll tighten it right up. So
the difference between my vertical post and Caroline's, it was so tiny that there's no way that John can tweak his design. Template. You just can't get that specific. Not with
a handmade product that are already they're pretty tight margins with what he's having to make. So to have to make that much of an adjustment, you couldn't make that little of an adjustment. So a little piece of felt just takes care of the trick. Now, I've never used them I've never tried them myself or tested them out. Now mine are unstained, just FYI. I was too impatient, so I grabbed them before they were finished, and I've just been using them unfinished. I have photos of them being used on a Millennium frame, of how they fit and how they work. So that's just a sort of, FYI. I've never tested them myself. The length of them, 27.5 inch almanac frame fits.
I think you're using...
Yeah, the battery's
Okay.
just low.
All
I'll
right.
change it. The 27.5 inch almanac frame fits perfectly on the standard Mark II floor frame. If you have longer almanac frames, you're going to need a longer crossbar. And you're going to want to keep that in mind because we only make a crossbar up to 48 inches. The standard comes with 36 inch crossbar. You can custom order up to 48 inch crossbar. And you must have 6 inches of clearance for the flip frame mechanism, plus an additional 2 inches for the bracket. So, but all of that information. So yeah, so keep that in mind. This is a 27.5 inch and it fits perfectly on a 36 inch crossbar. So there's the math for you. Okay, new battery. New battery. And I was just telling Kerri that I've actually finished. I have finally finished. I've shown you everything I had to show.
We probably could have gotten a quick see you
If we
later. out
talked
of that with the
really
battery.
fast, we could have finished it up right away. But
Yeah, some really good new charts in the shop.
amazing. So fun. Am I forgetting
Were you
anything?
supposed to talk about the 2023
Holiday
countdown?
countdown? I'm going to talk about that in the other video.
Okay.
So if you're interested in joining us, if you would like to purchase the 2023 countdown box, now that we're at the end, I'll add a few minutes in. If people are not interested, they can just shut off because we don't have anything else to talk about today. So now my stomach is grumbling. We are going to have pre-sales. Pre-sales are going to be live on February the 1st for the 2023 countdown box. I know. We are doubling our numbers this year for the number of boxes that we will be able to sell. And that is one of the reasons why we sell this so early. So just a couple of questions that were frequently asked last year that I'm going to just put here right now. I'm also going to mention them again in the next video. We don't take deposits on the box. We do ask for full payment up front, even though it is something that you're not going to be receiving for a little while, because we have to do all of the work. So the money from your purchase helps us do our work so that we can get it to you in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Now, on that note, we shipped out our boxes last year. We started shipping out last week of September, and then we were done shipping by October 20th, 21st. That was when we shipped the last box. So it took us almost a month to ship all of the countdown boxes. This year, Jacobpalooza is happening at the beginning of October for 2 weeks. If we don't start shipping before Jacobpalooza, and we're doubling the number of boxes, we don't have enough time to physically get them in your hands by December 1st.
I'm gonna have to start packing in July.
May.
Oh, May. Oh,
Early May.
no pressure there.
We've done the math.
Okay.
Hannah and I have done the numbers. We've looked at everything that we need to do. We still have to finalize our pricing. It's not going to be exactly the same as last year, like project-wise is what I'm saying. Okay, so I don't want to give away too much because part of the pleasure of last year's box was
the unknown.
And I know a lot of people don't like the unknown, and that's okay too. On that note, the holiday, did I mention this? This chart is now released. The 2022 chart, if you weren't able to join us last year, but you love this design, it's now available for sale on Jacob's website as a PDF. So you can purchase it and you can stitch it yourself however you want. Just wanted to make sure I remembered to say that. So I don't want to tell you too much about it, but it is going to be a little bit different than the project we did this year, but there are still going to be daily individual packages for you to open. So some of the things will feel similar to what we did this year, and
small bite-sized
daily stitching.
Yeah.
And once again, next December, I will be hosting daily stitch along videos on my other YouTube channel, which is Off the Grid Needle Arts. And you know, I aim for kind of like a Flossmas Vlogmas style. It usually does end up turning into mostly just me sitting and having a little chat with you. I did have them scheduled last December for 7 p.m. every day. And I found that it was great to have that scheduled time, but by the time some people had questions, sometimes they'd already made a mistake by the time the video came out. So I think what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna try and be a day ahead of you.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
sounds like the
so
way to go.
I will do my countdown one day before yours, but I will load my video in for the day's countdown by like 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because of course we have a lot of people who don't live in North America who are following the countdown, and by the time my video went up at 7 p.m. they were well into their next day of stitching. And so just to make it a little more kind of in the middle of everyone who's participating, but also early in the morning for those of you who are in North America who might have questions or problems, there will be a video up first thing in the morning. So that is one thing I will change for next countdown box. So yeah, we're gonna start selling them February 1st. You'll be seeing it on social media that it's going to be coming, so that you'll know when and where to look for it. We will be sending out a newsletter. We have a newsletter for the shop. You can sign up for it on our website, www.evertote.ca. We really try not to spam with too many emails, but we do send out maybe one, maximum of 2 a month.
I'm always really happy when I get one. I don't even know why I'm here. I'm in the building, folks, and I still get excited when it's like, oh, an Evertote email.
That's because Hannah makes a really fun newsletter, right?
Yeah.
They're colorful because of all of your beautiful things, and
Thanks.
you know, Evertote we do some other stuff too.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she puts together a great newsletter. It's usually short and sweet with lots of pictures that are easy to click on if you're looking for more information on a certain product. So if you go to our website and you scroll to the bottom of that page, there's an easy place for you to sign up for our email.
Does Luna have bedhead on the side of her face from the heat register? Is that what those lines are?
Yes, that is what those lines are.
That's a great look, Luna.
Aww. She's like, okay, you guys have talked long enough. She wants her bed because there's no bed in here, so she's been laying on the very cold, hard floor.
With her face on the heat register.
Yeah. Bedhead Luna. All right.
Good.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
Well, I didn't quite cover it all,
no.
but that's why you're going to get a second video from me today. I think I've said most of it, but again, I'll say it again. So, okay.
Okay.
We'll see you next week, next Thursday.
Week. That's exciting.
I know. Take care,
Bye.
everybody. Happy stitching.